Okay. All right, so we're going to walk through. So we know that there. So we're going to walk through the process of how this competition works. So we're going to talk about how is the theme developed. When the students compete, like how does the competition work? How are they awarded? Who is the jury? What happens with the winner? How do they work with the companies? We're going to decide that together, the steps. And then we're going to use these steps as the way to present the idea in the 5 minutes, right? So we can act out our idea. Does that make sense? Yeah, okay, good. So Jani and I were speaking, and I was reminded that it would be a good idea. Please come through here. One more chair is right there for you. That when we keep talking about Eastlay learnings, we really, for this exercise, should narrow in on one of the learnings and see how that plays out with our competition. So when we think about the state-of-the-art data, the best practices compendium, the professionalization survey results, and the diagnostic grid, these are all assets that you have that you want to disseminate. And because you were starting to think about how companies are getting involved in this competition and you're getting buy-in from sustainable companies, I would like to hear your thoughts about perhaps we would use the professionalization survey results. You've already gathered this information of what competencies companies need of their students, to do this work in sustainable development. So perhaps we put on that lens of that learning that we're sharing with the world, right? So if we're sharing that learning with the world, then maybe we sit down as Eastlay and we say, okay, it's going to be the pilot competition. Our first competition is going to be in 3 months. Okay, so Eastlay would say, what will be the theme? What's the competition about? And you could choose one of the competencies that you already know is important for companies, and that's what the students will be competing to come up with innovative ideas that could then, feed the teacher's work, things like that. What do you think of that kind of general framework? Can you see how something like that would work, or what do you think?
The question is it so clear what are the results of this confirmation survey? For me, not. No.
So you should pay better attention.
What if we pretended? What if we pretended like they were clear? Because hopefully in the next year and a half, you have 1.5 more years. You'll have it tied up a little bit more. And for the nature of this, we're.
I'm going to play devil's advocate with you.
Okay, I see.
And what about the good practice
Talk about that.
for the competition too, because they have examples in front of them, but they are forced to develop something more, something new.
What do you think about that? What do you think about our idea?
What kind of examples are you thinking of?
In the best practice companion, we have lots of form that we compile, and they can read about that, but then they have to develop something new that is not in there, that it's not already at disposal of everyone. They should do something more, something new.
So let's talk about what would be a specific best practice, so we can start to see if we
I
have
don't know. In the
like,
best practice companion, we have a lot of topics, from policies to.
what's one specific one? What's just one specific
Like
one?
the practice experiences. I don't know. Maybe. Yes, we have, for example, an hospital for animals, if I'm not wrong. I don't remember from which country.
I think Risteco.
Yes, maybe. Maybe yes.
Which one? What is that?
Risteco. That's a company
Yeah,
which...
Maurizio.
That's a
Yes,
company
we
which
did it
promotes short food chains.
Yes. We
And
didn't put
organic
that
food
on
production
the
and
companion.
supply.
We didn't put that on the companion.
No, I think the advantage of using like the competences that are necessary for professional practice is that we can use that the students should be able to use them in order to do like a prototype or something to make something into the competition. They would need to use these competences. So in an indirect way, we would force the state-of-the-art outcomes to the lecturers to help them to get these competences so they can do the work. You understand what I mean? And as a source of inspiration, I think it's very good to use the compendium to see if there's something in there to help. So they have to look into our material to do that.
Because, for example, there are lots of best practice on campus, on sustainable campus. But then we have that, so students are forced to invent something new.
Yeah,
To start from there maybe, and to go, of course, your ideas. So,
Tatiana, what do you all think? And Lumia, what do you think? I just want to be sure your voice, yeah.
We agree with Yani before asking students for producing some proposals, some ideas, some project. We have provide them some knowledges because as we know, for example, in our Ukrainian experience, in many cases students are not ready to do some proposals, to do some
Okay,
projects.
so I have a very good point. So I think there's one best practice project, okay, that we have in Germany, and they were awarded many times, that is a course, I think an e-learning course on sustainable development. This can give them basics for sustainable development. So they know what they are talking about, they have the basics.
yes.
Very nice.
Yes. Maybe the best practice companion could be a tool for what Jenny said.
Yeah, so I think we should use, I'm always a little bit sneaky in trying to get people across borders and thresholds. So what I would like to do is to use stuff like that so they are going to acquire the competences that the companies have said that the graduates need. And because the companies are in front of us, they are ahead of us, I mean, they're not in front of us, but they are ahead of us in the process. I think the companies, by formulating a challenge, I think it should, yeah, it's a challenge, you said, by formulating a challenge to the students, both the lecturers and the students should work very hard, both to acquire all the competences they need to be successful in the challenge, but also to use the materials we have provided, we have collected yet, to get there, you understand? So it's like a double whammy. This is my sneaky dream of how we could do it. And in the process, our colleagues, the lecturers, are also invited to develop their own skills towards a more integrated way to sustainability. So I would like to ask the companies to ask for, not for single stuff, but for a multidisciplinary approach. So the students also can work together with others from other faculties, which would be a nice challenge also. Or from different departments between the University of Agriculture. George?
In our, on our basic thinking, all the projects for the university as judged by some companies. Could be NGO, could be some of them involved in SD. Let's say for the first meeting, for the first challenge, the company decide, let's say one team to solve one of their problem, their common problem.
Yeah.
Now, and the students for each university has to find a solution for solve that problem. Yes.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, and it would be nice if the prerequisites of the problem would be that it could be like a multidisciplinary approach.
Because we have some in Romania, something like at the national level, they are established 1 or 2, 3 priority problems to solve. And like a competition, when we university applied to get funds to solve that problem. So I think we can do the same thing in our case here. The company want to establish the topic, and the university and students has to work to solve that problem.
And do enough of the Eastland learnings get pulled into that?
And where do the students get the basis for solving the problem?
Okay, we can use what we say in company practice also.
Okay.
Okay, so who wants the magic pen just to start
Yeah, you
seeing?
use that
Yeah,
torch, just-
come on.
Okay.
I'll try to be sponsors here. So what you can do when you do this, maybe when you're talking through the steps, think of a specific example, you know, like what would be the theme, just so you put it in parentheses each time or something, an idea like that.
Okay, you have to help me how to go.
Yes, of course.
First step, problem of company, you said, so that's the first step.
Company problems
Or establishment the
Yeah,
problem.
but you just start writing this on paper if something should become even better. That doesn't really matter.
Can be your first draft.
solve company problems or
So do you want to put an example of like a company problem so you can have a theme?
The waste problem?
Yeah,
yes, could be.
meeting water discharges.
It's worse.
So could use
Meeting water discharge limits.
meeting,
Good.
meeting,
Water
water,
discharge.
discharge. Sorry, my English is not so
Discharge.
This just,
Just DIS and charge.
Like,
CH.
it's like a battery.
H.
Ah, yes.
That means content of pollution, something like that.
Yes, so they'll have the environment agency
Yeah.
give them specific levels that they could actually discharge into water, so that's a common
Common
target.
problem, yes.
It's organic or inorganic.
Okay, this is the first step. So the second thing will be
Maybe sending the announcement to the universities which deal in this problem.
yes, because not all the university has
Yes.
you know the
Sending them or make some announcement in newspaper or funds or
for using internal
Yes.
system of communication to the let's say student association or group of researchers or something to
Pick
spread
up the problem
information. Yeah.
and put it, everybody could see it. How?
You can use a tool like Adrian said
Yes.
on the website,
Yes.
something, or the company put this announcement on, you know,
how they can operate more efficiently, like reducing their carbon footprint, their electricity consumption.
sure, you can choose one. It's a large area, so we have to focus to choose one of the common interests.
Is this one sexy enough? Is the
All right, reducing carbon footprint then, that's.
Yes, could be.
That's common.
It is.
It's much
All
more
right.
complicated.
Reducing energy then.
It doesn't really, for this example, it's just an example of a company problem. You wouldn't have to,
Okay,
yeah.
because I think, yes.
So you're
The company would give their needs that.
It would be, yeah, and just for this, they're just saying, here's the example of the one. A company has said their problem is meeting the water. So it sounds like your next step is around this call for entry, like how are you letting universities know,
Let's say call.
or however you're saying it, but
Communicating with the disseminating our competition.
yeah. So advertise, you're like advertising the competition?
Let's say first call.
Or in mind.
or
Inviting competitors, maybe?
Inviting for this, I'd say, that when I
But that
push
means
it,
the
the
company
people will
choose the
show up.
university. Let's say the call because the university will know if they have competencies to apply or not.
Okay, perfect, so a call for entry.
Yes.
Call of interest.
Yes.
Call for entry.